Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We all have a yoga practice. The benefits we desire from our practice of yoga varies, right? As many people as you ask, why do you practice yoga? That's the number of responses, varied responses in terms of purpose, in terms of why they're practicing yoga. But let's speak about yoga as it is. What's the purpose of yoga as a discipline itself? A good example is of a yoga wheel, the yoga chakra. In the center of the wheel is the hub. That hub is the yogi, you and I, the individual, living being. From the hub of the wheel, spokes come out. Each of those spokes is a yoga process. Bhakti yoga, Jnana yoga, Karma yoga. These spokes lead to the outer rim of the wheel. So you have the hub, the individual, the yogi, you and I, and you have the yoga practices, yoga process, leading to the rim. The rim of the yoga chakra is the Ishta Devata. Patanjali talks about this in his description of Ashtanga yoga, Ishwar Pranidhan. So the purpose of yoga is to connect the hub of the chakra, the hub of the wheel, to the outer rim. Yoga is the spokes. That's what yoga is supposed to do, is to connect. Literally, it means to unite. The term yoga, its function is to unite the hub to the outer rim, the Ishta Devata. In this day and age, we practice what Patanjali would call asana. It's not a yoga practice, it's an asana practice. One of 8 steps: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, connection, sameness. Right now, yoga is being sold and packaged in a way that is truly an asana practice, not necessarily yoga. Yoga involves so much more. It is also very specific in what the connection is trying to be made. The individual, Jivatma, to be connected to Param Atma, the Supreme Soul. That is a connection that is being endeavored to be made between Jivatma, the hub of the wheel, to Paramatma, Ishta Devata. So to achieve perfection in yoga, it behooves us to know who is our Ishta Devata. Otherwise, to what are we connecting? To whom are we connecting? Without knowing to whom or to what we are connecting, why are we engaging in this practice? I'm taking yoga, the definition of yoga, as it is, not as it's being packaged in this day and age. Asana is being packaged. Asana is being sold as yoga. I'm not talking about asana. Asana is its own category, one of the many parts of a spiritual yoga practice. So I'm not talking about asana, I'm talking about yoga. If we want to achieve perfection in yoga, we have to know. We have to know what is our Ishtadevata. If we're not endeavoring to connect to our Ishtadevata, if we do not know who our Ishtadevata is, let alone connect, then we are not, in truth, practicing yoga, and we will not achieve true success in our yoga practice. So it behooves us to explore, to understand Ishtadevata. If we're interested in yoga rather than merely asana. In asana, there's nothing absolutely wrong. I'm not minimizing the importance of asana and the benefits of asana in our lives in terms of psychophysical well-being in performing or having a practice of asana, a daily, regulated practice of asana. Incredible benefits to our mind and body when practicing asana. Various types of asanas, various styles, whatever they may be, whatever suits your psychophysical nature. But if we're going to discuss yoga, we have to discuss Ishtadevata. We have to know, we have to explore, we have to investigate Ishtadevata, Ishwar Pranidhan. We have to explore the outer rim of the yoga chakra. And in that exploration, in that understanding, connection begins to develop. A relationship begins to develop. We are actually now, in that exploration, practicing yoga. Oftentimes, and the example I've just given of a yoga chakra, a wheel of yoga, actually exacerbates this misunderstanding. The misunderstanding is that yoga, Bhakti yoga, Jnana yoga, Karma yoga, these three types of yogas are different. And I just gave you the visual of three spokes. It gives you the idea that there are three different, separate, distinctly unique yoga practices. Yes and no. That is a true, but also very, very limited and in some ways inaccurate representation if we stay with that singular visual representation. To expand our understanding of yoga overall better so that we can achieve perfection in yoga, we have to understand that karma, bhakti, and jnana are actually one. Think of it this way. Give another example. Setting aside the yoga chakra for a moment, that yoga chakra was good for a particular conceptual understanding of yoga. Let's now build on that. Karma yoga is the what we do in our life, in our existence. Jnana yoga is the knowledge, is the know, is the how we should exist, how we interact, what are the various relationships between energies and matter, and so how all this functions. That's Jnana yoga. And as it relates to our existence. And then there is Bhakti yoga. Bhakti is the why. Why should we care? Meaning, purpose. What's the point? That's bhakti. Karma yoga, the what? Jnana yoga, the how. Bhakti yoga is the why. These three work together seamlessly in our own lives. We can see that. The things that we do, knowing how to do them, and then why are we doing them? We are beings that operates on these three levels simultaneously. Our activities is not separate from our purpose, it's not separate from our motivation. Knowing how to go through life, knowing how to do the things that we do, we develop skills to achieve what we want based on our motivations. These three components of our being work simultaneously, seamlessly, and in concert, hopefully in harmony with one another. They should. They don't always work in harmony, and that's where we get issues in our own lives where we self-sabotage, where we cause harm to ourselves, our relationships, and society at large. When those three are out of balance, they're not in harmony. But in truth, a healthy individual has all of these things working in harmony. Her motivations, what she does, what she speaks, what she endeavors to learn and improve about herself are all in harmony. She's not self-sabotaging in any way whatsoever. So similarly, these yoga practices, karma, bhakti, and jnana, work seamlessly, simultaneously, in harmony to move the jivatma in a loving relationship towards Paramatma, Ishtadevata. So to describe, oh, I'm a bhakti yogi, I'm not a jnana yogi, I'm a karma yogi, I'm not a bhakti yogi, is actually very, very limiting for the yogi's development in yoga. So know two things. Yoga is one harmonious practice, state of being, consciousness that enables us to connect with Ishtadevata, the Supreme. Hari Hari.